welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Pooks, and tonight we will be continuing. Ooh, that got a little bit close to the mouth there. We'll be continuing our Interstellar Mall, and I'm hoping that this will actually be the last stream or episode if you happen to be watching on YouTube. Of this particular one, because we're slowly belting everything up, and I think we'll get very close, if not 100% completed tonight. Now, during my local lunch, I've spent about 20 minutes or so just belting up these three components. We've actually done our processors, and we've done our green motors, and we've also done our photon combiners. Now, if you recall, we did have a kind of an issue with photon combiners in the last stream, where we worked out that actually, we weren't making enough because the green circuits weren't pinning out hard enough. So that's now fixed. But yeah, we're putting on the demand for those at the moment. There's serious demand going on. So that's why things aren't flowing as smoothly as they should be, but it also should mean that we're actually now starting to put out these solar sails again, which is great, and that'll be very, very necessary for our frames to be constructed, or Dyson Sphere components rather, as well as to continue to shoot those into orbit and actually finish off our Dyson Sphere in orbit here as well. So only good things are happening, I guess is what we can say. More rockets are coming, lots of storage happening here. But let's get back to the meat of what we're doing. We have a couple of towers left to go. We've got this one here, full of materials. Got this one, we've got one material? No, two. We need the micro... Actually, we don't need microcrystalline components because we're making those locally. We can clear that one off the list. There we are. Making progress already, just by elimination. Got 5 left to go in here, 5 left to go in here. And yeah, actually, hey, we've still got a fair bit to go. Maybe we don't get it done. Well, we certainly won't get it done if we just sit here and talk about it. So, let's kick on, and Annihilation Constraint Spheres are the next thing on our list. So let's look at where we actually need these. We're going to need one for these guys, and I'm pretty sure that's it. There's not a huge demand for those bad boys, which is good because I don't really want a huge demand to happen for them. They do take a few materials to make after all, and they take a long time to actually construct in an assembler too. Alright, so that's that part. Now what I've worked out that I am going to do is, see, I'm just going to reduce the amount that we even need here. We'll go 1200, local demand, remote storage. Actually, we're going to go remote demand in case that ever gets produced elsewhere. But yeah, what I worked out I was going to do is just fill these up once they're all connected so they can get started on producing as soon as possible. And we can have things building while I'm still belting things up, which will be very, very good for us. So as you can see, for example, we have full tier 1 belts going on, which are making their way up to tier 2 belts here, and then we've got full output for these two. Hang on, oh yeah, that's a belt on top. Right, so now we just need the other components for our blue belts to start being manufactured here as well. So yeah, and look at all the spaghetti happening. Whoa, point of view, just horrible there. There we are. The spaghetti is real, but there's enough gaps in the spaghetti to thread more spaghetti through. Cool, alright. Annihilation Constraint Spheres, we only had one output for that, so that's done. We're going to move on to titanium alloy. Now, titanium alloy will take a few things. So we'll run it out the bottom here, get it to here, and have a little bit of a pause and a little bit of a think. So we're going to need it in here, we're going to need it in here, we're going to need it in here. So that's 3 inputs already. But where else are we going to need it? So 1, 2, 3. Are we going to need any titanium alloy down this direction is the question. Blue motors, blue motors. And no. No to these. What have we got down here? No to these. No here. No here. Yeah, right. It's all gonna be all up north. One up there, one up there. So I think we can work quite well with that actually. That's fantastic. Right, so that means we can start our splitter a little bit earlier, and then what I might do is run it through these 3 input belts that we're going to have. They can continue on after. So let's grab our splitter, and we're going to make these split fairly soon, fairly early. Do that. Alright, now split number 1 is going to come off like this, and that's going to be our bottom one here. Take it down to there, get it down to level 1 from there, run across. It's just going to do a hop, skip, and a jump over. And in it goes. Excellent. Now the next one is going to have to be right here, so we're going to go the bottom level and run it off like so, and in. Simple. Then the next one, again, we'll need to start up at top level, but move it off to level 3 at least. Run it across, like so. And immediately back down to ground level. And in. And we don't need it there. Alright. So from here it needs to continue on. And we already have this one continuing on, so that's great. And then this one, it's the bottom, yeah. This one will continue on down at bottom level. Ah, no, that's not bottom level. Abort, abort. At bottom level, and then go thread the needle up. Not much of a needle, but it is still threading something. We actually wanted to cut it off there and turn. There we go. Get rid of that little clip. Alright, so we've got that running up and through to the end here. That's fantastic. And we've got these two joined up as well, and then joined up to the end here as well, because you apparently needed. Just gonna mark you. Great. Then where else do we need it? Have we done everything? Are we done ski? Really? I thought there would be one more. Nah, we're good. Okay. Outstanding. Now, I don't actually... oh yeah. I don't actually think we've got that made Interstellar, do we? Not yet. So if I go remote demand, yeah, nothing's going to come in. We'll leave it remote demand for the time being, and we know we're going to need an awful lot of it, so we'll just set it to local demand. We will give this some logistics stations and some drones, and there it goes, starting to fill up. Now we will make min load 100%. It's going to start competing basically for those resources potentially. In fact, I might just have a look It's all going here, and that's our main supply point. Whoa, we're just taking it all, are we? We're just ripping into that. I mean, we do have a backlog, so okay. We could use some stackers there. So once we've got a few stackers produced, I think we can combine stackers here. I think that would make sense. That should get it a lot faster into this thing. But yeah, basically that's going to drain off at least the excess, but we do have a few smelting. We've got a bit of smelting capacity there, but we're going to be okay, I think. Alright, and yeah, look at it go, splitting off in 3. Filling up our factories, making our goods. Slowly filling up our factories. It'll take a while, I suspect. Even with a double output here. It'll just take a while for all these guys to fill up. Yeah, because they fill up with 120 of them each. That's a decent amount, really. Okay, but while that's going, we should be working. Next one is titanium. Straight up titanium, no thrills titanium, and I've just realized I could just do a map mode to explore what I need without running around all the time. Wouldn't that be just a handy trick that I could have used earlier? Alright, so what needs titanium? Nothing down here really, nope. You guys don't need to titanium, you guys don't, you don't. So we need one here, in the middle, and I think we needed one up here somewhere. I take it back, we didn't. We only need one thing of regular titanium. Excellent. Alright, so that'll be easy. Less splitting involved. Now I'm going to run it out the bottom here. Do that. And then we can run it under. And then we'll tell it to go to level 3. I might actually go to level 4. The reason being is that way I can thread through something at level 3 if I need to. And I probably will need to, although the actual route down there is straight up that way. So we'll go from there. Tell it to stay at level 4. As it runs across. And then down in it goes. Fantastic. Snip it there, get rid of the excess. And another one bites the dust. Now we can remote demand this one. Local storage. And we're good to go again. Alright, so the next one is quantum chips. Expensive one. So we might actually just run it down to 3,000. Quantum chips is one of those things that takes a lot of resources. And yeah, let's work out where we need these. So we'll do the whole mappy thing again. We need one here. We need one here. Quantum chips are also usually fairly rare in construction. There's only a few things need it, so I don't think... Ah, yeah, we need one down here too. So that's 3 total. So we can do a single splitter, I think, or even just a single line of it all running out on multiple places. Do we do that? Yeah, we have to run it down all the way there. Now we're doing a single splitter and then 2 lines, so I can run into there and then go on onwards and upwards from there. Alright. So on that basis, I think our splitter will need to be around here or something, just to keep it lined up and nice and neat as possible. There's our thing. We'll say quantum chips are your thing, please. Go up a level. And then down a level. Do a little bit of a loop. Do a bit of a dog leg. And yeah, that's gonna go straight from there. And then we'll do the L2. Go to L3. See, there is method to my madness. There's that threading. The threading is real. Then to there, then L4 in case we need that threading again. And then I might run it to there, across like so. To there, and then down and in. Alright, and then once it's gone through the artificial suns sort of area, we'll take it back up to L4. Continue on its wonderful journey across, and we need to get it there. So if we do that, and then is that going to be under, or is it going to join it? Not going to join it, cool. One more. There we go. Hey, we have our quantum chips going. Alright, so we will go remote storage for the time being, local demand. That's going to start filling up. That's our local logistics station. Spits them all out. And we can move on to pink dumbbells. Again, a few things should be needing this. So we'll take to the long view. Nothing down here. What does this need again? You need blue motors, so that's the next thing we're doing. So we need one here. Need two here. And I think that might be it. So I'm thinking we run it into that and then split it off and run into these. Seems to be a good way to do it to me. So let's get to it. We'll go output here to pink dumbbells, run it out. Let's see here. Do kind of a dog leg and tell it to go up to thread it. Oh no, we don't need to go up to thread it. We can just go base level. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Alright, that connects us up there. Now this is where we'll want to start changing some things, changing it up. So once it's gone through these guys, which shouldn't really take all that much, maybe, we want it to go to them. So we'll start off with base level and tell it to go up a notch straight away. Oh no, hang on. Base level to here, then go up a notch, because otherwise we just go start off at top level. Try and thread it through. No, we can't at that sort of thing. Can't at that, but we can get it to that. Across and in. Excellent. Now we'll go to L2 on this one. There we are. And then we'll do a similar sort of thing where we're going to just do a kink to the left. Like so, get to L3 like so, get to L4 like so, and then back down again. Alright, and that should conclude the pink dumbbell side of our journey. It's all happening. It is all happening. Now we go over here, we're going to want, again, we don't have a remote storage of these things. they're fairly relatively expensive, so we'll set it to half levels here. I say relatively expensive, I mean I'm not using a terrible lot if I can just do that and demand out. Oh, actually it is basically the entire inventory that we have, so we have just jump-started our production again of these things. But it's all flowing in pretty fast, and we're gonna need to upgrade our production capacity of this stuff, I think. I don't know, should we do that now, or should we finish this project? Because I kind of feel like this is gonna end up being a manufacturing program. Yeah, we should do it now. We should do it now. If we spot a problem, we should fix it, especially if we can fix that problem relatively quickly. Because all we're talking about here is doing belty upgrades, like so, and just kind of upgrading machines to be the fastest possible. Oh god, they were really slow belts, weren't they? Let's just double check we have them all at the top possible speed now. Yeah, we can do a kind of grid thing. So we should be able to do all those sorters too. And that'll make it a little bit smoother. Alright, yeah, now we got stuff happening. So we want to upgrade that to get these things in as fast as possible. And I think we also want to upgrade, already is upgraded. Cool. Alright, so that should give us an immediate increase to our production without too much effort. I think I'm also going to be stuck with all these substandard belts in my inventory now, but that's alright, we can deal with that. We'll deal with the pain of having the peasants. Yeah, immediately, look, we're not at full capacity. Same with this, but I think it's going to even out. Okay, we're up to blue motors. Now, the first one I know that we're going to need to do is this guy down the back here for our batteries to get those battery production up and running. So that is going to be a long belt that we run out the back here, but that's fine. Glass prisms. Hopefully we've got that selected. Oh well, we'll do a review at the end to make sure that we've got everything connected up. Anyway, blue motors. We have one needed here. Let's check it out. Blue motors. We're going to need there, and the endpoint for that. So one down the bottom right, one here, one here, one here. Oh god. Going to be a bit of demand for blue motors. I think that actually does give us our demand requirements. Alright, so let's think this through. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one down the bottom, so 5 total, but the one down the bottom isn't going to really count because it's just going to go out the back. So let's get that one done first. I say out the back, it's going to go slightly out the side actually, and then that's the last thing I need. Yeah, cool. Alright, so out the side we go. Up a level. Up another level. And start running. long belt. Where'd my drones go to? Surely I didn't just construct a... Oh, I did. Okay. Cool. Now, got one up the top. I don't think that's going to really run anywhere else. I don't think I can really dogleg it anywhere to... So we'll do maybe an immediate split. Autosave! Ah! Do an immediate split around here and then start running it down that way. I think I'm back here to give myself plenty of room. And out like so, and in. Now it can just be at base level. Like so. Alright, one down. I could split it in 3, but I don't want to. Instead, we will take it up to L4 again. Just sneak it alongside here. So I work out where that needs to go again. Yeah, we'll keep going that way actually. Gonna tell it to go to L3 and kind of cut off like this. L2 to there. And then this is where we'll chuck in our next splitter. Like so. So that'll go in. That's not what I was thinking. Damn it, Jim! And then down a level now, and in, like so. Then we need to get it in here as well, and in here as well. And I think that'll do it for us. Yep. So let's do the base level one first. Can we just kind of sneak it all around? We can. And then the top level, I believe I can just do like so, and it shall get us to where we want to go. No rhyme intended, but it just came out like that. Brilliant, blue motor's done. Now again, 12,000 feels like a little bit of overkill so on storage level, so we're going to go with 6,000. We'll go remote demand, but even though I know there's no actual remote production at the moment, and then we're going to chuck it to 6,000. Now it's going to burn through that 6,000 pretty quickly, I suspect, but again, we have only a kind of tiny factory producing all this. And limited local stocks, so to speak. In fact, it's just burnt through all the local stocks anyway. Yeah. Huh. Just with that 6,000 demand. Oh well. Oh good. I'll make my factory run at least. It'll give us a good stress test of everything while we're trying to make all this work. But these guys are now soaking it up. They're soaking it up till it starts. Oh, we have power supply issues. Now that's going to affect everything, so I shouldn't let that stand. We should put down some more artificial suns. And we're going to use this little section here. Oh, maybe not. Oh, wait, no, I think we can do it. I think we can do it, people. Now, it's weirdly enough in the Dyson Sphere program part of it, which I don't think it should be, but it is, and no one asked me. So we'll do a line of artificial suns here. And we need our antimatter guys to go out like that. These things can start, you know, producing again. And then we'll just tell it to have some sorters. And we're back up to 100% satisfaction. Now, part of the reason why my factory may have just taken a huge power hit was not necessarily that everything is turning on, but that we have this huge battery charging station here. And we're suddenly starting to produce batteries, and these guys are actually starting to do their jobs now and make batteries, make charge batteries. So I think that could have been our problem, so to speak, is that, you know, they were started to do their damn job because we'd fed them in as all the things. And that'll be a pretty constant demand for a while now, so I'm pretty sure we're still not actually producing enough power. And we should probably grab some foundations to sort with that. Now, this is the magic of one of these things. Look at all these foundations. I say I need a few thousand of them. Drop into my inventory. No matter where I am on the planet, I don't need to fly around now. Coolness. Now, of course, it's not going to work on interplanetary distances and certainly not interstellar distances, but it is a big step upwards nonetheless. Now, the other thing that we want to do is put down a few more artificial suns here. So we're going to do a line here, and then we'll tell it to daisy chain. This, and like so. Oh, really? Come on, guys. But I want to daisy chain you later. Can I get sneak? Yeah, I can sneak you guys in. Put it down a few poles. Why do we even need that lever? There we go. We got the suns all up and running now. And we are far exceeding our power production needs now. Fantastic. Alright, so going back to our charge, these guys should now be charging up at their maximum rate, which theoretically I think, if I counted things properly, should... I was about to say should keep up with these, but I realize these at work at a time and a half and not normal time, so yeah, they're not going to keep up. So these guys are going to be idle a fair bit. Oh, good. Alright, back to production land. Production land, and yeah, we're gonna need more blue motors. And more titanium alloy, apparently. We are not keeping up with demand. Probably not too surprising. Where's our production? So these guys are all starting to actually work for a living now. Yep, they certainly are. Alright, we're probably going to need a titanium alloy sort of smelting environment at some point. Wondering if our super smelter planet, or does that count as more of an advanced material? I mean, it still needs smelters. It's a dilemma. Also, apparently we're using up a fair bit of steel. Cool, that is a tomorrow problem though, fixing up supply issues like that. For the time being, we want to continue to get our Interstellar Mall up and operational. So we will continue on here. We've just finished Blue Motors and we're going to move up to the next one in the chain, which I've already filled out, which is something I regret, but hopefully it won't cause us too much drama. Now, high purity silicon is actually what I want to do next. I think we only have a single... Can I rotate this? Yeah, I should have... High purity silicon is what we're going to do next. We have a demand put there, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to demand it anywhere else in this manufacturing plant. I think that was the only real silicon requirement, apart from the on-site production, component production. Yep. So that'll be simple, and hence why I'm targeting it first. Is I can just go, you can be our silicon line, silicon line, silicon line. I don't know what I'm singing there. It probably won't be a hit. Alright, our silicon line is in place. These guys can start pumping up, and they'll actually start production now, which is fantastic. Of course, it's going to use Blue Motors, which is maybe less than fantastic. But that's how the cookie crumbles and gets trodden to the carpet. So we just got to roll with that. Now, I'm pretty sure also crystal silicon we are already... What's my rotation keys? I can't remember. I don't think there was one. Yeah. So, crystal silicon I don't think is needed anywhere else. It's a very limited component in terms of what you need it for, and that is likely batteries. I think if I click on it, it'll tell me, yeah. So that and, particle broadband, so we're all good. We don't need to do anything more with that. Electric motors, again, I reckon there's only one thing that needs that. But we'll double check before we, assume, because assumptions make an ass out of me and you. Electric motors. T1 motors, please. Anyone interest you in a tier 1 motor? There is an upgrade, but you can't have it if you just want the T1s. So the T1s belong down there. And, yep. One belt. And it's all the other way around. I was thinking, could we swap it here? We could swap it. Turn this into remote storage, local supply, and tell this to swap over to here, I think. Ooh, sorry about the local demand, remote storage, please. Look at him go. Yep, let's quickly swap over, people. Boss says move this stuff over here. Lovely. That was fun. Clear and reset this one. And that can now go to remote demand local storage. There's also an awful lot of electric motors in terms of stockpiling it here. So, did we need that many? Probably not. But we got it now. Okay, so we're gonna go electric motors from here. Go to here. No, we don't want to go to there. I did the rookie error again. I'm gonna end up with a whole heap of T1 electric motors just kicking around my inventory. We're trying to get it up to L3 and run it down this way. And we're gonna need L crazy height. The official term again, L crazy height. Oh, we've already been to crazy height. We'll go to slightly less crazy height. Trying to dodge any more crazy heights. Where do we actually need it again? It's down here. Yeah, alright. So, continue on our way. Good man. Down from here. Nope. Nope. Need to continue on slightly less crazy height. Then down to even slightly less, more crazy height thing. And then we're good. Alright, electric motors sorted. And these guys are starting to work, which means our sorters will start pumping out some sorters from our green motors and from our T2 sorters, which is great. Absolutely fantastic. Alright, so we'll just cruise on up and see what we need to do next. Next up, we need graphene going somewhere. So let's turn around and see where we need graphene. I know that there's one. I just don't know if there's more than that. Can I interested you in some organized carbon? Anyone? Organized carbon. It's very strong. It'll hold your lunch together. Oh yeah, we can get 2 here. We have 2 takers for organized carbon. The first one being our particle accelerators, right? Accelerators. And the second one being our T2 assemblers. So I think we're actually just going to run a single line for all this in the end. We'll start running it out here. We're going to run it along the top, I think, at the L2 height until we actually need to cut down into the factory. We'll go along here. And that's where we'll tell it to go down to base level. And then we'll start running along here. That's where it's going to get into a little bit of trouble maybe, because that's a base level one there as well, but we will work with it. Tell it to go here. One more. Upper level. And then down. Now, this is the point where we ask, oh, yeah, I think we want a splitter. Sorry, dude. The reason we want a splitter is because those things are expensive and they might take forever before we do anything with them, or that's, you know, it starts allowing it to go to assemblers. So we'll tell the L2 height here to connect up like that, and we'll continue along on base level for this guy, so it can work its way down to where it needs to go, which is right here. So it needs to go up a step, and it needs to go in. Lovely. Just lovely. Fantastic. Apparently I hadn't filled it up. Oh no, I had. Just the drones. Ah, excellent. And so hence why I wasn't filling up my thing with organized carbon, otherwise known as graphene. Running down here, splitting off, and in it goes. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now some of these things are proliferated as well, and some of them are not. That's because I don't actually have proliferation kind of properly set up. I'm thinking I probably can run around and do it at the outputs here to make sure that everything does get proliferated as it leaves, which would greatly enhance the efficiency. Basically, I can either speed it up or I can tell it to produce extra units per the units going in, and I'm going to go for the latter. But that's the last thing that we want to do, basically. We want to get it working first. We can deal with proliferation later. Now, the final thing we're going to need is glass from this particular one. We're getting close, people. We are getting close. So glass. Glassy, glassy, glassy glass. The glass. Now, I know at least we have one input somewhere. I think it involves fractionators and stuff. Oh, yeah, here we are. Chemical plants need glass. Oh, I haven't connected you up. Alright, we need to fix that too. Somewhere. Yeah, we got you. We'll run you around and up. Alright, so fix that. Fix the processor line. Do we need anywhere else with glass? I don't think so. Alright, so glass needs to go down here, and then we need to fix up our processors that are needed for this one as well. Cool. Okay, so again, I think we'll do the old trick of running it along the top. Get it up to L4 so that we have threading capacity without having to just go over the whole damn thing. We can thread it through at L3 if we need to. Now, as far as this goes, can we just run it down at L4? Getting a little bit lazy, I know, but yeah, I think we can. Yep, we'll do that. Get it there, and that won't work. Just kind of cut it a little bit there. Hello there, Dr. Devil. Welcome to chat. How are you doing this fine evening, sir? Or ma'am, don't want to judge. Just judging from the name. Could be a bad idea. Ah, yeah, my process is already wrapping here. I am baking an Interstellar Mall. So, what we've got at the moment is when we were constructing our kind of base level material, we have this kind of mall set up here where everything is in boxes and, you know, we've got all the parts needed to build stuff. I'm good as well, thank you. But what it doesn't work is that I can't grab it directly from storage, and when I want to do projects in other planets, you know, I can't transport it easily. I have to go back and forth between my home planet and this place. So we're building all the things that we need for our large projects and stacking them into these logistic stations so we can ship them around. Oh man, a nap. I'm envious already. Love naps. They are the best thing. As long as you don't wake up and feel kinda, you know, kinda even worse than before when you went to go down for the nap. Alright, up we go to L2 and then down again, and the spaghetti cycle is complete. Hey Kestrel, how you doing? Good to see you again. Actually, I didn't need to go down to L1, I think. Ah, yeah. Now you're talking my language. Coffee. Ha. I've been unfortunately surviving on shitty instant coffee for a little bit today, and it has not been pleasant. Why isn't glass coming down the line? I don't think I've finished the... Yeah, here we are. Go drones and make things. I would love to have a coffee right now that you guys have talked about that, but it is like 10 o'clock at night for me, so yeah, I wouldn't sleep then. Either coffee or a good glass of red wine would be awesome. Again, kind of a little bit late to have it. Okay, so I think that's everything in this logistics station that we needed to hook up, which is great. Also, that's a concern. Yeah, we should really be filling up on this. 1:52 p.m. I'm just gonna take, so that's what, an 8-hour difference? Yep, wine I definitely do say. 8-hour difference. I was gonna guess Europe, maybe 8 hours, but it seems a little bit too low. So tell me if I'm way off geographically. I should know this, I used to live in the UK for a bit, and obviously came back to Oz. Alright, so that's all constructed up, and the reason why I was staring at this and going, that's bad, is because it means my crystal silicon factories are not doing as well as I thought they were. And we're down to the last logi station that we need to hook up to everything. Now, I know that I'm producing this locally, so I can actually clear this one off. And so, I think to make those local productions happen, that's what we'll start off with those glass prisms. We'll run it, actually I'm going to get rid of that splitter straight away as well. That's not how I ended up doing things. Yeah, it's been about 11 years since I've lived in the UK. I lived in London for a bit, which seems to be a rite of passage for Australians. Although, to be fair, I wasn't in Shepherd's Bush. And yeah, that was fun. It was good to live in a different country, and surprisingly enough, there's still a decent cultural difference between Australia and the UK. You wouldn't think so, but there is. $12 p.m. there, alright. Really? Hang on. No, it can't be 12 p.m. because it's like 8 p.m. Oh, sorry, 10 p.m. here in Australia. So there's it can maybe. Oh wait, 12 p.m. I'm thinking 12 a.m. My bad. My bad. Yeah. That would be right then. I was thinking, 12 at night. No, that doesn't make sense from my own time zone. But I was way off. Alright, so now that we've got glass prisms, that's the only thing that we need to do. We're gonna local storage that up. We might need a few of them, so we'll just say about 6k of them. Come on, come on. Come on. No, there we are. And remote to mat. Ooh, maybe I don't have any way of producing prisms either. Yeah, not on an interstellar basis. That's what something else is meant to fix that. So we'll give this in interstellar logistics while I'm at it, and also give it some local drones, and tell it to only transport 100%, and we're getting 240 in that way. But it's still not great. So that's another thing that we'll probably have to pay attention to, is our prism factories. Yeah, we've just got a few down here, and they're going as fast as they can. They're getting plenty of glass. It's just been kind of sandwiched in here, and it's not been great, to be honest, in that it's just been not properly designed out by me. And I think that calls for a redesign here in just extending it out, at least locally, until I have interstellar production of it and we can make massive factories of it. But this is why we're doing this, is to help us with those massive factories, so it's kind of a chicken and egg, and yeah, one thing at a time. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is the particle broadband and loop that up. So let's just go into map mode to see where we need to hook these things up. These labeling system, Kestrel, thank you so much for telling me about those, because that has been so handy for this build and working out where I need to run things. I probably would have gone crazy and rage quit by now without it. We need particle broadband here. I'm not sure that I need it for anything else though. Let's just check on the thing. It usually tells you what it makes. Yeah, just the assembler machines. Alright, so we only need a single belt of this as well. Head up to here. Do a lot of stuff separate. How do you mean? Curious to know how other people build. I mean, I do watch a few other streamers and YouTubers on this, but it's always good to learn a new trick. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. This one is just kind of a centralized place. Maybe later on I'll have planets doing mass builds or something. But the point of this is to get us to the point where we can easily make those type of planets. So, for example, in the smolder here, we have a smelting planet, and the entire thing, well, about 2/3 of it is covered in smelters, and that's all it does, is that we just get raw resources being shipped in, and it smelts it and then exports from there. And you can see that it's kind of a busy sort of place with all the logistics vehicles going in and out of it. So this will be a stepping stone to make it easier to produce those kind of planets down the line. So you're quite right. I'm just at I'm going to be doing the same sort of way that you're doing it, I think, unless I've misunderstood you. But I'm just not at that that point where I've got whole planets devoted to a single type of production yet. Hang on. Oh god, the levels. Yes, we're gonna do it. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Can we just tell it to go down from here? No, probably not. Tell it to get to this point at least. Do a little curvy thing. Normally I would, well, I'd say normally. I'd hate doing this, except for it's kind of the last things that need to be put into these points. So I'm going to call it okay. Now again, because that's only feeding one thing, I don't think I need to really make this like a big sort of amounts here. We'll just go to 3K. I think that's a local demand product, and later on it can be a remote demand once I've got manufacturing up and running. Oh, just while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to make sure I top up my power. Oh, you've got a spaghetti emoticon. That's awesome. 2 or 3 functions per planet. Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. I don't think I'm at the stage yet. Later on, I reckon I might be. But I'm going with, like, so that smelting planet, for example, is smelting up multiple things. So it's smelting iron, it's smelting magnet, it's smelting copper, high purity silicon, titanium, stone bricks, glass, and diamonds, I believe is its entirety. It does have on the list to do crystal silicon as well, I just haven't set it up there. And I was toying with annealing graphite there, as well as maybe some steel. And potentially titanium, but I feel like that's a bit more advanced for what I want to do there, and it's better off to do with a planet that's got local acid, because you can just mine it in and have a massive storage bank for it, rather than shipping it around. It just seems more efficient to me. Anyway, next one is frames. We've only got 2 things left to do, and it'll be all belted up. Excitement. Alright. So frames, what needs frames? This needs frames here. This needs frames here. So we've got 2 takers. We need a frame over here, but it looks like it's already actually working off this one. So if I connect 1, I'm going to get 2. Any more frames? And a frame here, but that's also connected to that line. So I only need 2 lines, and the dominant one will be this one. Right. So we're gonna go with frames like so. Iron only, yeah, geez. It's gotta be a big demand for iron. And eventually we'll probably get there too, but what did I say? We're gonna go 1 in here and then 1 up here, yeah. So we're gonna need a splitter. Run this across here. Put it down here. That is exactly it. This is a stepping stone to kind of get to where Daredevil was at, I think. Or Dr. Devil, sorry, not Daredevil. You know how your brain sometimes just inserts things into words or makes you assume that the word is something? Do you get that? I get it often. Especially when I'm speed reading, I'll read something and I just assume it's one word, or just kind of fill in the gaps to work between words even if they're not there. See, I'm wondering how much. Does anyone know how much foundation it takes to do a planet? Like to cover the whole thing in foundation. Kestrel, Dr. Devil, either you know by any chance? Because I am very curious to know what it's going to take. Well, at some point, I'm going to want to pave the whole damn planet sometimes and do a blueprint on it. If I no longer care about the local resources on those planets. You don't have to Google it if you're off doing that. I'm just curious to know if people do know. Because if you don't, then you know we've got 12,000 in storage. We'll pick them all up and go to a planet and see what happens. It could be a fun experiment. All right, so we've got 1,500 frames coming in. There'll be more coming in as our factory backstops. And I think I might ratchet up the local storage that this thing has just to give us a little bit of a buffer. More than 12k. Yeah, it seems like that because you can blow like 1,000 foundation really easily. 326k. Wow. Yeah, just a wee bit. That is so much steel as well, man. Like foundations, where is it? Is it buildings? No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm probably staring right at it and just missing it entirely. Yeah. So 1 steel, 3 stone bricks. Yeepers. Oh well, we may not be doing that for a little bit of time, because all I've got is 12k in storage. But hey, that'll be enough to be able to ship enough to deal with bumps and fill in a few oceans when I need to and that sort of thing. Oh man, that's rough, Kestrel. Alright, we're gonna do, say, 5,000 on the graviton lens, and this is gonna be the last thing that we need to hook up to belt up everything. We're gonna need 1 here. And any other demand for graviton lens? Probably not. It's, again, fairly advanced component. Hey, Ochiniwa, how you doing? Good to see you again. We're still stuck on the same project that you had initially joined for, I'm pretty sure, as well. Yeah, we only need to hook up one belt here for the graviton lenses, and then you've just joined in time, Ochiniwa, to be able to see the end of the belting process. Good timing. But you can observe the spaghetti that we have made doing this. I love it. I don't really. This is a stress voice from me. No. Oh wait, but I think if I get it down to L1 now, it should be good. So let's just do that. Ah, no, not like that. Hey. Alright, we're good there now as well, so we're just gonna go remote demand, remote storage here. Gonna flood in. And that, oh, that's a horrible point of view. Right, let's just go around now and just make sure everything has got a connection. It probably doesn't have materials because we are running on some shortages for some of our inputs. Because I've just given it a big shock by saying, hey, import 12,000 of each of it, which may have been my entirety of storage for it, as well as then start producing things. But that's all good. Alright, so these guys are all hooked up, they're working away, so are these, and this is hooked up but it needs more, but that's fine. These guys are hooked. You've got your inputs, we can probably just snip off the end there, make it a little bit neater. Same deal here. Processors. That's a bad sign if we're running out of processors as well. Yeah, we've got incoming, but our processor planet will need to be producing more. That's fine. Oh, we've got an alarm going off as well, so we'll be running out of time soon, folks. But not before we're done here. I am determined to finish this episode so we can move on to better things. We're all hooked up here, all hooked up here. Ow, this is hurting my eyes, but yeah, I think we're hooked up. We can snip off the end here. Apparently I've drained up all my steel as well. Is that accurate? Or is there a break somewhere? Yep, we have. So we're going to need to increase our steel production. Yep, that's a good argument to go to that smelting planet and make it make steel too. That's alright. That can be a tick on the next things to do. These guys are all hooked up too. Yep. You're all good. That's actually a little bit of waste there at the end. It's not a missing component. These guys are good. Oh, here we go. We need a blue motor connection here. So do we have a blue motor running along here? You look kind of blue. Are you? No, you're not motory though. Yeah, there should be one coming off this. Pretty sure. Yep, there it is. Right. Plenty of spaghetti here. think the builds that really get spaghettified are the ones where you're just using so many multi-components in, so when you're building malls and that sort of thing. The person I've seen best at this actually is Catherine of Sky on YouTube. She seems to manage to organize things quite well when she's building malls. Or it doesn't look as ridiculous as this, at least. But I also haven't observed her building necessarily Interstellar one. She's just been building the, I've just watched her build the your startup mall sort of thing and thought, hey, that's a great idea. Alright, so that's hooked up that. Let's just keep checking our inputs. Hey, we got steel there. That's good. They've all got inputs. These have all got inputs. Yep. These got inputs, and they're making things. You've got inputs, and I think we're just out of steel for you. Let's trace that back. Oh my god. Yeah, that's the one that's kind of missing stuff. Alright, excellent. You've got inputs, you've got inputs. Are we really out of blue motors? We probably are. We can check if it's ever had anything. Yeah, we've made 14 of them, so it has gotten that far at some point. You've definitely got inputs because you're making stuff. Same here. Brilliant, brilliant. All right. So, yeah. So I haven't been doing any mods. I'm just playing a vanilla playthrough. I haven't got the achievements for things, so I don't want to jeopardize that if at all possible. So this is all the vanilla ice cream version of Dyson Sphere program. But I mean, I've seen some wicked mods out there that when this first came out and you didn't have blueprints, you know, there were some blueprint mods that would have helped so much with, you know, potential arthritis for all the clicking. But with all this work is where I was going here, is that we're now getting our automatic pilers being built in. Spray coaters foundation from this one here. Our next one up, we're getting our T3 assemblers being built and stockpiled. Where, yeah, correct. The arc melters here as well. The conveyor belt Mark III. Yeah, Dr. Devil, this is my second playthrough, so it's been a long time since I've done it, and I'm being more ambitious with it because we're obviously closer to version 1, so to speak, of the early access. We're not producing conveyor belts at all, so I want to check that out, make sure that that's working properly. Sort of Mark IIIs as well as Tesla towers are actually filled up on those. Then, you know, our satellite substations are here. We've got splitters, we've got chemical plants, fractionators, charged batteries. Basically, all the different things that we should need to build on other planets and to build out things, and to do larger builds. That's all the things I think I'm going to need. Maybe I'm missing something. There are some components I've never actually built, which is, for example, the alert function here, or geothermal power stations. I've only manually built a couple of those and then abandoned them, or just regular other kind of power stations. Solar panel power is actually another thing that I've been tossing up whether or not to build those. Because while I'm going to be using these, I'm going to need something to kickstart the power. Because you can't manually feed the antimatter into artificial stars, so you're going to need something to give us power to start off with. So I'm thinking maybe I should also add solar panels to the mix here. I mean, that's not too hard. But we do have space in this one to add another thing and this one to add another thing, so we might add it in later on. For the time being, I do believe that we can chuck enough in our inventory, and I'll be using it so rarely that I'm not going to need it for a while because I'm only going to, to get kickstarts, I'm only going to put down 6 or so, maybe. Anyway, so the other thing, of course, is we've got our battery factory down here, if you're wondering where that was. Now, we want to make sure those belts are running, and I want to make sure that this part is all done. So let's just check. Yeah, so apparently we've made none of these. And so we're going to trace down our blue motors here. Our inputs coming from here, down the line, like so. Yeah, so it's definitely connected. It's just not making it that far because these guys are probably sucking them all up. Or something is sucking them all up before it even gets that far. But that's fine. Eventually they will. And that's really all that counts at the moment. Because I knew that there was always going to be this huge kind of resource suck as this fills up, and then it's just going to produce these things on demand once we're all filled up, and we won't have this sort of problem. Alright, so we have a spaghettified mess, but it is my spaghettified mess, and I'm proud of it. In the next episode, so you all know, or the next stream, however you want to define it, so you all know where I'm going. I'm thinking of maybe laying down some proliferators here. I might just do it in my lunch break or something tomorrow because it's, not really exciting, but just to make sure everything that's coming out of here is getting maximum efficiency before it heads off into our machines, and we're getting as much as possible out of them because power ain't a thing. From here, we'll also probably do a few more productions, fix-ups before we head off to make our first big factory at Arrakis and a second Dyson sphere at Arrakis. So we have been stockpiling rockets in the meantime, but I'm thinking that we need definitely to up our steel production in Smolder. So we'll add a steel smelting array to Smolder, and also probably a crystal silicon smelting array from the whatchamacallit, these guys, crystalline silicon, or fractal silicon I should say, so that we're going to guarantee basically that we're not going to run out of that. We probably also, I noticed that we're low on processors, and I'm not sure if it's just a function of this thing all kind of kicking online or if it's a genuine problem. So we might go check out our electronics factory just to make sure that it is actually running as we expect. If it's not, then we might at least just take a blueprint and duplicate our capacity there and expand it out by another unit or so, because that's pretty easy to do now. Then, once I've dealt with those few minor issues, what's the other minor issue we identified tonight? I think it was the prisms, so I'll just expand out that factory as well. Yeah, the rare stuff will help, and it means that I'm not, burning high purity silicon to turn it into crystal silicon, which is currently what's happening. And I've got plenty of the other stuff, whatchamacallits, this stuff. We've got plenty of veins sitting around, so all we need to do is chuck down some advanced miners on it, and we'll be good to go. But unfortunately, I think that's a foundation factory. See, we do. You're very keen on that one, Kestrel. We do have foundations being produced here. I think our issue with foundations is storage related. So we need to store up enough to be able to do a planet's worth. And I think the way to fix it is is not so much to produce an entire planet or even a big factory to do it, but rather to just let it build up in the background here in terms of storage. So let's fix that now. We're out of boxes, but I think you guys will all kind of understand what I'm about to do. Is that, and then that. Now, these are blocks of 1,000, so it's actually gonna store up, what, 30 per box, right? So 30,000 per box. That's 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240. So we've got 480 there alone. And what was the amount? I'm just going to scroll up through chat. We needed 326k. Alright, so we don't need that many boxes actually. Done. That will give us the capacity to foundation a planet. I just need to get back down the scroll. Yep. So more than enough for a planet, plus some besides. Of course, I will also need the soil pile for it, but I'm thinking the first planet I do is going to be a hurricane stone forest. I think that usually has a heap of soil pile. It's always net positive. So we'll deliberately target one of those to foundation down and go from there. Anyway, that's all we have for tonight. So thank you very much everyone for having a watch. If you did enjoy the stream, feel free to drop me a follow. I would greatly appreciate it. If you don't want to see any more, then don't do that, of course, and you'll have fun watching another streamer. There's plenty about. Otherwise, if you're watching this on YouTube later on, then please drop me a like, drop me a subscribe. If you want to see some more, helps me out with the algorithm. I'm pretty sure not too many people watch the backups from YouTube. It's mainly though if you've been watching the stream and you want to see what actually came before and how we got to this point, then you know they're all backed up there because Twitch deletes them after a while. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you again for watching. It's been great and fun to see some familiar names in chat, and I will see you in the next stream.